It was fun, but after 8 hours of doing that, you kind of got a little bit of a little crazy. And I remember we were just finishing a session, and Serena left to go out to the studio for like 10 minutes, and I was sitting there and somehow this melody just came to me, the dee da da dee da da.
Ludwig, yo, this film is incredible. Your work on this film is incredible. Christopher Nolan often has this unique and memorable scores. In what ways did you collaborate with him to create this like musical landscape to complement the storytelling in Oppenheimer?
Thank you so much first for your kind words. It was truly a true collaboration. And I say that because, I mean, it was the same with Tenet, but obviously now there's a second project, so we kind of know each other a little bit. I know it was I actually know that I can present him anything, which maybe on the first one I was like maybe a little bit more nervous about how is he going to listen to this, how is he going to listen to that. But now I really know that when we start experimenting, and that's really how we create our sound worlds. We just experiment and then just put everything on the table. And this is right after I read the script, so obviously I get ideas from reading the script and how detailed everything in the script is. Even the sound, there's even sound design in the script, like the footsteps.
Oh, really?
The sound of silence after the Trina test, it's all in the script. So, and right afterwards, having a conversation with Chris, and one of the only guidance he gave me in terms of where the score should go was to use the violin as the main instrument to kind of embody Oppenheimer's personality. And then it's just off to the races, and we start experiment. And my wife, Serena, is an incredible violinist, accomplished violinist, and I was lucky enough to spend like hundreds of hours with her in the studio, just pushing, recording violin and trying to push it in different ways that I haven't been able to before and heard it before. And so before Chris Nolan takes off to shoot the film, he has about 2 or 3 hours of music that we've been working on together. And this is music that we've been listening to, analyzing. We sit in the same room, I play it for him, and we point out certain details like certain sounds, certain themes, things that we like, things that we don't like. And so we were pretty far ahead in terms of production schedule when we start shooting. So that's I think that's the seed of the score and how the sound world starts coming together.
I love behind-the-scene features in films simply because it gives you a bird's eye view of how a film is made, and this is no different because you talk in the behind-the-scenes feature about collaborating with your wife with her violinist work. And you kind of piece that together, and you guys came up with Oppenheimer's theme, and you just sent it off to Chris, and he was like, this is the theme. Can you talk about that process a little bit?
We were spending long days in the studio mostly with just kind of microtonal glissandos up and down, and putting them together and trying to create this uncomfortable, almost like an uncomfortable siren. And it was fun, but after 8 hours of doing that, you kind of got a little bit of a little crazy. And I remember we were just finishing a session, and Serena left to go out to the studio for like 10 minutes, and I was sitting there and somehow this melody just came to me, the dee da da dee da da, and played it on the piano, and I played a bass line under it, super simple. And then she came back and she took up her violin, and she started playing it. And the way she played it with this like super fragile, intimate tone, this beautiful performance really affected how I started feeling that melody. And it really resonated with me. And I knew that this was special, so right away I sent it to Chris, and he called me 10 minutes later.
Ludwig, your music really brings this film to life in a way that I couldn't imagine, especially watching this in an IMAX theater, but it stays true even in the home release. So look, thank you so much for all your hard work, 'cause it totally pays off, man.